half of what's stressing you right now was never yours to carry. What if you weren't meant to carry that? It helps for us to be able to name what is in our control versus what's not in our control, because our body can't tell the difference and tries to carry it all, right? And so what I like to help women see is that second question, most importantly, what is outside of my control? We as women tend to stress about the things we cannot control. And so what are those? Those are other people, places, and things. For example, recently I've been hearing a lot of folks having to return back into the office and work. They were used to working from home, but now the employers are saying, come back. And ladies are stressed about that. Why? Because they have to be away from home. Then there's extra commute time, right? And so that's outside of my control. I have to come up with a way to look at, well, what is in my control in this situation? What's in my control is I can listen to music that I enjoy on my way in, listen to a podcast, or I can shift my perspective to the fact that, okay, well, I'm still employed. This job is a resource for me. And if it's worst case scenario where I absolutely cannot commute to work because the way that my life is situated now, I need to work from home, perhaps I can start exploring other employment options. Another thing that may be outside of our control is our supervisor putting extra demands. And I know I'm using a lot of work examples here, but work stress is one of the things I see common with the ladies that I serve. And so if my supervisor is putting these extra demands on me, I can say, tell my supervisor, this is what I'm able to do and this is what I'm not able to do. That is inside of my control, right? So the things that are inside of my control are me, my thoughts, my behavior, my responses, my perspective, right? Another thing that is outside of my control is my past, because oftentimes we are stressing about things that happened in the past, mistakes that we have made. But what can I control today? I can learn from my past, right? I can learn what not to do, right? Whether it was a bad relationship decision or a bad financial investment, I can do something different this time around and not be controlled by the things I cannot control, which are the past. And so, very important for us to examine both what's in our control versus what's not in our control, because our nervous system carries both. And one of the reasons why we struggle as women with this is because we want to be in control of everything, but it helps to realize everything is not in my control, right? And there's actually some freedom in that. In Narcotics Anonymous, NA, or AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, they say what is called the Serenity Prayer, which simply states, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And so let's break that down. God, first of all, that's what it starts with. So that means it does take a power greater than us, that being God, and as Christians, Jesus Christ, helping us work through this. So grant me the serenity. So serenity being peace, to accept the things I cannot change. And another way to say, accept the things I cannot control, right? Acceptance doesn't always mean agreement. Yes, in some instances, acceptance means agreement. But in this context, we're not talking about agreement. It's just recognizing this is a fact. And in another term, kind of, it is what it is, right? So accept the things I cannot change the things that I can, or the courage to change the things that I can. So that means it takes courage, right? To admit, well, there are actually some things in my control. I'm not a victim to my circumstances, right? Let me identify what those things are that I can change. And then the wisdom to know the difference. So that means it actually does take some wisdom to realize what's in my control versus what's not in my control. What I can change versus what I cannot change. And so it's not just a saying, it's an actual tool, and it's not just applicable to the AA and NA world, it's applicable to us as women. So the free Stress to Calm Reset tool helps you sort through what is mine to carry from what is not mine. Download it at calm.myserenepath.com.